So what's the saying? It never rains, but it pours. Well, that's exactly how I feel right now. If you're new around here, I'm Mex, and this is my 2004 Porsche Cayenne Turbo. And right now, it literally feels like I'm drowning. And that's because it's been absolutely non-stop with this thing. One thing after another. Now, I've already done a video on the maintenance and the last year and a half ownership of this car. But just as I finished shooting it, last weekend, it felt like I got shot. It sounded like a gunshot. I pulled over, emergency lay-by to check what happened to the rear left of the car. It literally, like I said, sounded like a gunshot. But actually, it turned out to be the common boot struts. Now, normally in all the videos you see, no one talks about this. So it took me ages to work out what it was. And I can only put it down to the noise came from around here on the other side. I can only think one of the boot struts exploded or failed or something catastrophically. Now, when I open the boot, it's so heavy and it slams. So it's definitely the boot strut. So now they needed doing anyway. They were failing, they were falling. So now I'm just going to get into it. I'm going to get stuck in. I'm going to take you guys and show you how to change both the boot struts and the glass struts, because it's two different ones and you should definitely change them both at the same time because you're there anyway. You might as well. So let's get on it. So these are the tools I feel we're going to need. Socket set, pry bar, trim pry bar, spatula, and two different size flathead screwdrivers. I also have my Milwaukee, but it's not necessary. It's probably a little bit too powerful and too much. I'm going to put on the soft setting. An umbrella, a long umbrella. Doesn't have to be an UGG one, but it does have to be something to allow you to rest the tailgate to different heights. I'll show you what else I'm using. I've got a big old stick that's currently holding the trunk up, the boot lid up, so it doesn't decapitate me. And then obviously the two sets of struts. I haven't opened them yet. I'm guessing these are the window ones and these are the actual boot lid ones. So yeah, this is what I think we'll need, as well as I mentioned, the stick, which I'm currently using to hold the boot lid up. First of all, we want to start by removing the center clip with the light. So we need to take the light out, it's quite warm. And then we need to take these side panels out. The screwdrivers in the screws you need to take out in there. And yeah, so pop these off. Light, unplug, clips. Some cars have a grill there and some don't. If you've got a grill there, you've got a speaker behind there, so don't pull at this too hard because you'll end up ripping the speaker out. So be careful with that. Probably best to knock the back seats down. However, I've got the baby seat there and I can't be bothered to take it out. The light has on one end a groove, so you know to pop it out with it for one end and then just unplug it. It's quite dark. I really should have bought my torch. Torch. Before we start taking any trims out, it's probably smart that we open these things, because if they're wrong and we've taken all that out, we just absolutely shot ourselves in the foot. So let's start with the big ones. The big ones are heavy, so they're going to be the boot lid ones, and I'll put the link in the description to where I got these from Amazon. They had really good reviews, so I'm guessing they're good. And actually they came in a pair. They look good, they're weighty, and they're really well priced. So I'll put the link in the description. These are the light ones. These should be the window ones, and again I'll put the link to these in the description. So and again, these come as a pair. Like I said, they look right, so let's get started. Alright, once light is out, the center panel should just be clipped in. So if we tug at it a little bit and get your pry bar, should be able to get to clips without breaking any clips. Also make sure you don't lose the little metal clips. I know one's flown out, but I'll get it in a sec. And just put them back in. If anything, the screwdriver is probably better than a pry bar to get to those difficult to reach spaces. There we go. There we got it with not a single broken clip, which I'm really happy about. Just so if you can see here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a locating pin, and then just some edge ones. I've lost one of these. I saw it fly out, so I'm going to find it. There we go. And put it back in place. So now that's back in place. Keep it somewhere safe, especially because it's that tan color. So now we're here. There's a cable tie here, so someone's been in here at some point, I'm guessing. This is the reverse sensors, which I have an issue with, but that's another story for another day. Fine. Alright, now we need to take these side panels off, which also have clips, and like I said, they got the speakers, but also got some little Phillips screwdrivers there. That's out. Make sure you don't lose that screw, and as you can see, now you can pull that corner. Do the same on that corner. Alright, so that panel's out. Clips at the bottom, locating pin. This is the speaker plug, which is just release. It's released with just one clip that you don't press, you pull away. And then just these that come off the plastic, but it's fine because nothing's damaged, so you just need to pull those out. I'm gonna leave them in place until I put it all back together. And then we've got this part. The difficult bit with this is you don't want to yank and break them, but also you can't just throw the screwdriver or the trim tool in there because of the airbag, so you have to be really careful. If I was you and I was struggling, I'd tug even if I broke any of these plastic clips, because you can always glue these back on, you know, and sort of shape this rather than damaging any wires or the airbag. So anyway, that's got to come out. Some people remove this, but I don't think it's necessary. That's a bracket for the airbag, but we'll see. And yeah, got to remove this because behind here is where we need to get to. This is a T25. So 1, 2, 3. Had to turn the hat around because I couldn't get my head into where I needed to look. But anyway, second panel off. Once you know where all the clips are, it's actually super easy. So that panel took me about 10-15 minutes to get out without breaking anything. This one literally took me 3, because you know exactly where to feel, where to pry, where to everything. Anyway, nothing broken. Again, a couple of metal clips are still in there, but I'll get them out. Nothing broken. You know exactly where to pry and where to everything. Gotta take that out, which I'll do that now, and then we can really get into the business end of doing things. If you've got access to both of them, then grab your spatula and just get in there. so you definitely don't need to move that bracket, but that sits there, so I just moved it along there, managed to get it out. It was really dusty in there, but anyway, you see what it looks like. Now the big bang I mentioned, it sounded like a gunshot, so that the head of that at this end has obviously exploded or come off or something, so I need to investigate that. There's oil here, so that's the glass one. It's obviously failed. This one is just, yeah. So anyway, I think I've got enough access. I don't really want to have to drop any more of the headliner, but I also don't want to damage the headliner, so I'm going to see if I've got enough access. And but comparing the two, they seem about right. So let me try to undo that and then find out what's going on at this end. You can see the old one's out. That clip's what failed, and yeah, it disconnected itself, but they're the same length, so that's good. Do that side, because people doing side by side, but I don't understand why you'd go through the job twice. So I'm going to peel that side down and unclip the old one as well, and I'm going to unclip the glass one as well. I've got my stick just there, so that's safe, because this is really heavy on its own. It's actually wildly heavy. You never realize, even failed struts, how much they help. It's wild. So that's out anyway. Original part number. It's got cracks on there. You can tell it's lived a life, so that's fine. Oh shit, look. That's why it came out. The spring snapped. Mad, yeah, because look, it had some rust in there. Mad, that's what the big bang was. And then obviously the recoil of that obviously made it pop off. Mad. Just about see if I put it like there. You can see the head. I've already popped that one out, and then the other one you can still see it. You can see it there. So I'm gonna squeeze a screwdriver in there, which is why you see it's already loose. So we're already started with screwdriver in there, and then the pry bar from underneath, and we'll get it done. Alright, so I've got both sides in at this end, as you can see, both in at this end and secured. I need to make sure they're secure, and then I'm going to raise the tailgate to full height, and then it should allow us to match the ends. Alright, so I've got the tailgate resting on there, so it's on full height, so it will allow us to match. Show you something like, allow us to sort of hopefully sort of match and align the ball joints from up here. It's gonna be hard to show you with a torch, but I'm just I'm just gonna use the stick and maybe the brolly or a toolbox, whatever it is, to get the tailgate to the right height, so the balls from there line up to the struts, and then just rebuild back up. Give me 2 secs and I'll show you guys. Yeah, so at this point you want to make sure you wiggle the tailgate around to make sure you line up the heads of the struts to the ball ends of the tailgate and the glass section, so that way you can pry them in properly and make sure they're clipped in. Then from the back, I found it easier from the actual tailgate opening where the hinges are to get the screwdriver in there to release the clips to make sure they clip down on the ball ends. Alright, let's do it. Then I just want to double check by wiggling everything around and just feeling in there to make sure everything's definitely in place and secured properly. So I'm just prying it real quick just to make sure it's quite well clipped in, and there's nothing loose, and everything feels good to the touch because you can't really see in there. But that's why it's good to get your hand in there, have a feel, and if it all feels good and feels smooth and the pry bar pushes them on well, so it doesn't feel like there's any play, then you're at a good place.
Jesus Christ, that's aggressive. But I'm glad it works. No more need for a stick. As you can see, tailgate is really high and staying up by itself, which is really good news. So I'm just going to put everything back in place in order. So much shit that came out of the holes, so make sure you clean it up because it gets in from there, right? But yeah, I blew in there a little bit to just clear it out, and which I guess that's how the rust gets in there. But anyway, going to rebuild everything back up and then shake it all off and eventually take it for a wash. So I'll see you when it's all done. Alright, so just like that, the boot is done, everything back like it used to be, and as you can see, it's staying up. So, big success, happy with that. Done, fiddly job, but it's done, it's all complete. The boot is up. It's not a hard job, it's just fiddly. But it's either a two-person job or you need a stick of variable lengths. Obviously I use the ledge on the wall of my car park, which strategically parked it here for that reason. But yeah, so you've got to move it to certain heights to get in, to help get into it, to do and undo. I did both at the same time. I just thought it made the most sense. Happy with how it's all ended up. The boot goes up really quite aggressively. One point to make actually, it is really heavy. Like, you just don't understand, even if it failed. Like, mine was shot, and it's still, you don't grasp the weight of the Bootlid without the support of those. Is actually insane. So please be careful. It is very heavy, so make sure if somebody's going to help you, they're really strong. Can't be a kid, in no way. It's dangerous. And while you're working on it, just make sure you're always fully in the car. Don't have limbs hanging out, just in case something pops off, you didn't quite clip it in properly, whatever. Anyway, the tools that I said that I was going to use, I used. They were great. Torch made a big difference, but it's just because I'm indoors. If you're doing it in the day, you won't need a torch. However, it gets really hot in here just with the light of the torch, so if you're doing it outside, you'll get hot. Apart from that, yeah, tools, extra person or adjustable stick, a strong one, not a weak one, and yeah, that's it really. Just patience is key. Do not break anything. I didn't break anything. I've put gloves on now because doing the last little bits, I did catch the edges of some plastics. There's a bit of plastic here, which I've not seen in other videos actually, but it's quite a bit of plastic structure that holds the shape of the headliner, holds where the reverse sensor lights are and all that stuff. And I did catch some of my knuckles, so I grazed them and they started bleeding, and because of the colour of the interior, I didn't want to get blood on the interior, so I put gloves on. But I didn't do most of the job with gloves, just so you can get the feel. But like I said, patience is key, the right tools, which not many, and somebody to help, or a couple of lengths of strong bits of wood, strong sticks. Apart from that, it's actually not bad. It's taken me just under 3 hours from start to finish to like now, just under 3 hours. So it's not bad. While filming and listen to music. So one thing I didn't mention is just get a playlist on, a podcast, something. and you plough through it. So yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.